I want to start off this episode by saying that if you follow any trend from TikTok that is clearly dangerous for your health, you are stupid. Anyways, welcome back to the bandana. I am your host, Sarah, and in this episode, we are going to be talking about the trend dry scooping. If you haven't heard of this trend, it's basically where people take a scoop of pre workout and just down it without water. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because I just wanted to go through this article that I found on Today. And this article was written by a licensed nutritionist, Carrie Glassman. And I also just wanted this episode to be a slightly unscripted, raw thought episode, so it's not scripted. So I'm just going to be reading through the article and giving you my thoughts as I go. So that way it sounds more, we're connecting. It's casual. We're laid back. Sip on your tea and coffee. Hopefully you don't overdose on caffeine like these people are. And let's get to it. So in this first paragraph, I see that pre-workout contains protein, caffeine, creatine, and other ingredients, quote. So it's things that you would expect in a pre-workout, protein and caffeine. However, I think later on, let me find it. Just 2 paragraphs later, it says that there's 150 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. You guys, just so you have like a reference, 1 cup of coffee is about 250 milligrams of caffeine. And I think a can of Coke is more than that. Actually, yeah, let me quickly Google how much caffeine a can of Coke has. Caffeine in a can of Coke. Wait, are you serious? It's only 34? Wow, okay, just kidding. Take back what I said. Okay, well, thankfully I searched it so I wouldn't be giving you guys misinformation. Um, yeah, so speaking of caffeine, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you're pregnant, you can only have an 8-ounce cup of coffee worth of caffeine per day, so that's about 250 milligrams. This is ridiculous. And again, I understand why there's such a high caffeine content in this because it's pre-workout, but I just think it's before I get into it, I should probably give you some context. A couple weeks ago, I was in Dallas visiting my boyfriend, and we watched this PewDiePie video. Judge us all you want, but we were watching this PewDiePie video where he kind of just did what I'm doing. He just reviewed the dry scooping trend, and he talked about how it was really stupid, and I must say I agree with that. I do see in this same paragraph where it says that there are 150 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per scoop, that amount of caffeine can cause blood pressure problems if you have a particularly sensitive cardiovascular system, and it can also cause heart rhythm disturbances. That, if I did that trend, that would be a little concerning for me because I have left atrial enlargement, which means my heart doesn't really have rhythm disturbances, but I think if I were to down that much caffeine, I feel like my body would just not react to it well, and it would probably have rhythm disturbances. Again, this is a TikTok trend, so and also, by the way, I know I say this in almost every episode, but I am not a medical professional, so don't listen to me with a grain of salt. I most definitely don't advise dry scooping. Oh my god, you know what this reminds me of? I think PewDiePie said this in his video, but this dry scooping trend reminds me of the cinnamon challenge. Oh my god. I used to watch those, not quote religiously, but I used to watch them occasionally just to see and think about how difficult it would be to just dry and just eat cinnamon dry without water. That's ridiculous. And I guess this is sort of following in those footsteps. I think it's crazy. Um let's see, what else is there in this? Oh my god. Okay, so in the second to last paragraph, it's just two sentences, but it says uh quote, swallowing powders without being diluted include choking. Sorry, other possible dangers of swallowing powders without being diluted is choking, end quote. I can see that happening. Again, I do remember watching in those cinnamon challenge videos that people would just choke, and sometimes uh I don't know. I think sometimes they would vomit, but yeah, they would definitely choke and be suffering, and for no reason too. I also want to point out that the little description of this article at the top underneath the title is quote, there are better ways to maximize your workout than trying this trend, end quote. I I don't know why you guys think about doing this. I don't know why. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Um, but I will leave this episode by saying you definitely should not try this trend. I know I'm not a medical professional, but I still would not advise doing this trend. If you're gonna take your pre-workout, just mix it with a smoothie or at least water. Dilute it somehow. Okay, I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this unscripted episode of the bandana. I hope to record more of these because I actually had a lot of fun doing this one. I didn't have to put much preparation into it. So, I hope you guys are enjoying my series that is finally on Spotify, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.